All right, good work in our Wednesday practice. Thought it was good to still continue with the speed work, and that's one of the things that we're kind of challenging our guys with is trying to crank up as much intensity, try to have emphasis on the situations. So in the moment, can we have the detailed focus on job, assignment, technique, fundamental, and going out there and performing to the best that we possibly can. Well, I think we're seeing definitely some positive steps in that direction, and there's still a couple moments where we have to continue to work and be better. But I do believe the ownership. I do believe the investment that guys are working to make is definitely helping us, and I'm excited about that building up to Saturday to go see them play their best game.
You talked earlier in the week about the team cutting it loose. I guess have you kind of seen that show up?
Yeah, I definitely see that in a lot of guys that are playing. I mean, to say more free, it's not. I mean, you always have to be in control. I mean, that's at the end of the day, I want as much passion, as much energy, everything that you have, and always be in control of you. Because when you have control, you're going to be able to utilize technique, fundamentals, and all those things. But understanding that is a tool and a resource right? Not, and as if you sit there and you allow your mind to think of the consequences in every situation, or if you're, if you have, any doubt or hesitation in assignment or, fit, read, depth, any of those things, if that shows up, then that hesitation, all right, will be what's showcased on display. And so you're seeing guys that, I think they've done a good job of what they're doing away from the meeting room, making sure they understand what they're being asked to do. Obviously, it is unique this week with a couple different looks and schemes of what we might face, and so guys really have to be locked in and cued in on that. But then being able to trust those fundamentals and all the training, everything we've done. So yes, I did long response to an easy question, but it was I have seen growth. I've seen guys that have taken absolute ownership, flying around. I really like a lot of the energy that I'm seeing from guys. Continuing to push that, just preparing themselves for game day.
What do you see from the quarterback room as a whole? Now you've had a few games with DJ, and those guys are now getting more experience.
Yeah, I mean, it's what I look for are their eyes, their feet. Obviously the delivery of the ball and locations, and when it comes to the passing game, there's a lot of factors that go into it, and it's obviously protection, it's routes, it's separation. It's finishing plays when you get the opportunity, and the ball's, put on you, and then, obviously quarterbacks locating the ball, where we need it to be, or knowing where to miss, because, sometimes there is a good miss, and, just making sure that, we're owning the football, maximizing our possessions, and then, being able to cut it loose and trusting our eyes, to be able to deliver the ball. So I see that group growing. I mean, I like what I'm seeing from their eyes, and it's about transitioning that, not only to meeting room, practice, and then obviously what's got to show up on game day. But I know the quarterbacks and receivers, they've been meeting a lot, on their own. It's just something that, I love that they're doing, but making sure that those guys are all tied together in, where and what we're supposed to be doing, and then, obviously we got to go out there and execute it.
Coach, you mentioned the variety of looks you'll see this week. How important does that make some of the scout team work and also the coaching staff to get the scout team in the right area?
I mean, it's some of the challenge. Obviously having a couple of days off, off the bye, we were able to get an introduction to that last week, but it's. There are some different looks, and there's times that guys do a really good job of that, and then there's also times that maybe not quite as clean. But ultimately, I mean that's sometimes shows up in games, and I've played plenty of opponents where there's been a busted coverage or maybe a different fit, and we still got to trust our eyes and react to what shows up. So all things to try to help us prepare and be better.
You guys mixed up some of the sequencing of some of the individual work you guys did at practice today. Are you seeing the level of physicality and focus you want from the offensive and defensive line?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're definitely working at continuing to emphasize our pad level. That's one thing. Just as a football team, I think we've gotten getting high at times. When it comes to our pad level in general, and so that's one of the things we're really trying to focus on and push just so that we can utilize all the power that we have. And so it's definitely been a big emphasis.
How was Hakeem worked and kind of getting back to?
Yeah, I've been pleased with what he showed. Still some things. There's some rust he had to knock off a little bit today. A couple routes that just he can clean up. But I really liked he's made plays since he's been out there, and so continuing to build him for game day. But I'm excited to see him on the field.
The team is 9-2. The program is 9-2, coming off a bye. Are there any common denominators in how you grade and recalibrate in the to prepare for the next game?
Yeah, it's just growth. I mean, and that's what you want to see. And sometimes you get opportunity for guys to rest up. I mean, here we're early in the season, with an early bye, but so not just a ton with our bodies, but it's an opportunity to continue to build upon the fundamentals. Obviously we have a couple games under our belt of experiences to grow from, and now it's about the application.
Can you share your thoughts on Alex Marshimano and what his veteran presence means to his team?
Yeah, Alex has done a great job, and obviously as a specialist, you never know when your opportunity is gonna be presented, but you have to be ready in those moments. And for what he's done, obviously everybody can point to what he's done as a punter. I think he's one of the best punters in the country. He's done a great job of flipping the field. Obviously he's been very consistent in what he's done, but also as a holder. And him and Ryan, they got a great relationship, and he's really worked towards that. And so it's really impressive to see just the impact that he makes. But whether you go into a meeting room, whatever it is, I mean, he's locked in and engaged. Whether it's talking about our punt unit or it's talking about any unit of our football team, he wants to win, and he's a great leader for what we do, and he's been that for this team, just throughout the years.
There's a lot of conversation about how much the Marching Chiefs are playing, and I know you've obviously showed them a lot of appreciation during your time here. You want to talk about your guys' feelings for the...
Yeah, no. So I know that was something that came about, I guess, last week, and to be honest with you, totally transparent. I had no clue, about that in the moment. I guess last year, Kalen DeLoach and Tatum Bethune, just asked for a small sequence of some music or whatever it was that it would lead into the Marching Chiefs playing, I mean, I want to hear them every second of every moment of the game. I mean, I think they're remarkable. It's what makes Florida State special, and so we've had there's been some meetings, and making sure that our coordinated approach of trying to create the best atmosphere that we possibly can. But obviously that's I don't want there ever to be a situation where there's anything that's I think we've honored tradition. We've honored the people that make this university special, and we're going to continue to do that. But I also realized that I think I was told it was every game last year too, and I'd never heard about it last year because we didn't lose any games at home last year. So we definitely are going to make sure we work to get that part right. And but I absolutely want to make sure that the Marching Chiefs are a strong presence in everything that we're doing throughout the course of the game. So play on.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.
All right, we're going to have Darius Washington in the middle.